Hello, very quick reaction video to the announcement of the Sony A7R4 that was broadcast a couple of hours ago. I am a Sony A7R3 user, and of course the point is basically, will I upgrade? Considering the release price of the 4 model and the current used value of the 3 model, the cost of an upgrade would be around 2,000 euros in Europe, approximately. So what about the reasons for upgrading? I've gone through the various points, and I currently see only a very few points that are really interesting in this new camera. I don't consider 61 megapixel a good enough reason. It surely would be good to have them, of course. I would not lie about that. But do they justify 2,000 euros expense? I don't think so. About the other features, a lot of those features are video related, like the eye autofocus tracking in video mode, which is quite remarkable, like the real-time tracking anyway, the touch tracking function in video mode. Okay, these are very good video features, but in a 4K 30p camera in 2019, I don't think so. I need 4K 60 or 50 in my case, but this camera does not deliver that. This is not a video camera, of course. It's a high-resolution camera, so it's headed for portraits, studio portraits, commercial photography, all things that I currently do. But most of the advances are in the video department, in a camera that does not deliver, like important video specs, like 4K 60, like larger bit color depth, and so kind of misplaced, if you know what I mean. They are trying to convince me to upgrade my portrait and studio camera because of video features. I don't think it's really, it's really centered. The other features, another good feature will be the dual UHS-II slots. But again, a second slot UHS-II is really useful when you shoot bursts, like wedding or sports, for instance. But is this our camera a camera for wedding or for sports? I don't think so. I use currently the A9, the Alpha 9, and the Alpha 7 Mark III for bursts, and they are very good cameras for that, fast bursts. And they would benefit really from a UHS-II second slot, because that would shorten considerably the writing time on the cards for those very fast and dense bursts. But I will not do those bursts with a 61 megapixel camera. I mean, it's crazy, it's a nonsensical use of space. So UHS-II second slots, yes please, but in Alpha 9 Mark II, in Alpha 7 Mark IV, or in the possible new upcoming Alpha 7000. And so again, great feature in the wrong camera, basically. So all in all, I mean, another good point is the fact that you can apparently change the color cursor the color of the focus cursor in this camera, something that Sony users have asked for a long time. But let me tell you one thing, if Sony uses this to force buyers into buying new cameras, then they really deserve to be called SOBs, okay? Because a decent company would use new features to lure current customers to buy new model. They should not use previous shortcomings to force people into buying new models. The fact that you cannot change the color of the focus cursor in other existing premium Sony cameras, the fact that we are forced to use that cursor that is 50% gray, and it basically it disguises into any object that you have in the frame. Okay, this is not a new feature, no, that you add. This is just a shortcoming that you are supposed to fix in the current cameras. So please, Sony, deliver firmware update for all existing cameras to fix that shortcoming, and don't use that in order to force people to buy the new model. If you do that, then really you are a shameful company, and I don't think so. I hope not so. And so please do that. Please update firmware of current cameras and deliver the ability to change the color of the focus cursor for existing Sony camera owners. So all in all, who I think is this new A7R4 camera for? I think it's a camera for people who don't currently have high resolution camera, who currently don't have an A7R3 or an A7R2 and want a high resolution camera. Then of course now this one is out, and so you should buy this one and not the R3 if you don't have already an R3. This is also a good camera, I think, for wildlife photographers, because the real-time tracking coupled with the 61 megapixels make it a great choice for wildlife shooters, because they can basically use the more or less presumably the same autofocus features of the Alpha 9, but crop into the picture a lot. And so especially in photographing like distant birds or distant wildlife, bears or something like that, and then the ability to crop into the image and to basically isolate the subject, it's really great. So I think this can be a great camera for wildlife shooters. Of course, I mean, obviously it's a great camera for product photography, but again, only if you don't have an higher resolution camera already. If you don't already have an A7R3, then yes, buy the R4 model. But if you are an existing R3 model, I don't think this R4 is worth the approximately 2,000 euros money that you would lose in the upgrade process. To conclude my reasoning, I want to say something about Sony. I think this release is really uncalled for and inappropriate, because what you obtain, Sony, is basically to devalue the investment that your users have made in the R3 camera just 1.5 years ago. And this does not only, impact it's not really because of the new features. I mean, it's normal. It's in the nature of the business that new models are brought out, and cameras are upgraded and so on. It's not that, it's just that you devalue the existing value of a camera that is only 1.5 years old, not only for the camera owners, but also for those people who happen to own this camera and maybe plan to sell it to buy a lens. Because many people have two cameras, like say an A7R4 III or an A9 and the A7R4, and maybe they saw that they really use one camera only, and they would sell, the R3 to buy a new lens or one or two new lenses. And now you have devalued that camera that is only 1.5 years old, while at the same time not yet addressing the requests of the users of S2 camera, who are waiting for an upgrade. It's I think 3.5 years now. If I remember correctly, the A7S II was released end of 2015, which makes the camera 3.5 years old. So basically, Sony, you have pissed off the R3 owners, devaluing their cameras who is 1.5 years old, and still you are not addressing the needs of the A7S II owners who need a more modern and upgraded camera since 3.5 years now. So what is that? I mean, what kind of policy is that? It's really, you have punished the R3 users while not addressing the requests of the many video makers that use Sony cameras and would need a camera that offers 4K 60p, that offers a wider bit depth, that offers real-time focus tracking, and all these features in a great new video camera. It's 3.5 years now that the A7S II is out, and you still haven't addressed those needs, while you are punishing the R3 owners by devaluing their camera without a real need for that, because there's no real need at the moment for an upgrade to the R3 camera compared to how much an S2 is needed to be upgraded. Even compared to an A9 would be would be needed to be upgraded for Tokyo 2020, because it needs picture profiles, it needs a second fast camera card slot, absolutely. So really, it's incomprehensible what you have done, Sony. I have to say I'm a bit disappointed. I will stick with my A7R3 because I don't want to lose a lot of money in your game. But I still need a 4K 50p camera. So I hope that you will deliver that soon. And as for the R model, I will not upgrade. Maybe it will be for the R5, or if it's really something that is important and needed. At the current moment, I don't see any real reason to upgrade my A7R3 now.